Be March Boxing, man. I'm back at it, man. Another Saturday night. And at least before I go to bed, man, I see some spectacular shit, you heard? At least I see some spectacular boxing shit. This was a damn good fight. Let me hear what Sebastian the Towering Inferno got to say. He's a geek, man. He looks too happy. That's his. You see his promoter right there in the back with the headband. Yeah, Samson Lekowitz. Yeah, I don't know what kind last name. Why his name Lekowitz is. Look at them fellas' defense, non-existent, boy. Slim took 3 flush punches to the face, and his head hit the back of the canvas. He got laid. I knew he wasn't. Come on, docs. You see the size of his legs? Them fellas wasn't beating that 10 count. Not the way he fell. It's a step up and a step down. He been hitting the head too much tonight too. What he talking about? You heard him? He's a he's a gracious loser though. He's not a sore loser. God give it up to him. He ain't make no excuses. This guy was up next. WBC interim champ with the 154 title. And his last 2 fights, really and truly, Sebastian Fundora didn't need to fight him. He could have sat his ass on the side, laid low, and awaited his mandatory position to fight Jamel Charlo. But he put it all on the line here, fucking with the man Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza was getting his ass handed to him. He'd land some good punches in there, but for the most part, he was leaking. His face was all red up. He was catching big uppercuts on the inside. Sebastian Fundora in the first 2, 3 rounds was boxing behind the jab. The crowd over there in this Carson, California, what used to be the Home Depot Center, the Honda Center, it's changed names at least 10 times since I've known this arena over there in Carson, California. Mendoza was doing his thing, but the jab was in his face all night. It was busting him up, busting his face up. And Fundora looked like he was about to start cruising, but from around rounds 5 and 6, this 6'5" dude, the towering inferno with the 80-inch reach, is in the pocket, slugging it out with the shorter Mendoza, hooking with the hooker. That's a no-no, Joe. Don't do it, Mo. Do not do it. Yes, indeed. But he ain't get caught hooking this time. In round 7, he got caught, man, with a big left hook, man. Left hook had him on Queer Street. He ain't even know where he was at. He ain't have his defense up. His hands was below his waist, them long ass arms. And then he got caught with another flush right hook and the left, I'm sorry, right hand and the left hook by Brian Mendoza. I believe it's from Las Vegas or something. This guy's ecstatic. He can't believe what just happened to him. He went through life and death. This is 2 fights in a row. Hit the thumbs up when y'all come in the room. Be Marsh Boxing. Please hit the thumbs up. Let me know what y'all think about this extraordinary. Towering Inferno got chopped down like a tree, like a redwood tree over there in California, man. Them tall, big ass trees. This guy, you see how long it took for him to hit the canvas? When he hit the canvas, who's that? You Dennis Ugas? That's you Dennis Ugas with Brian Mendoza in the locker room. But when I seen that man Disco Inferno or Towering Inferno Funduro go down, I knew there's no way he's getting up for that 10 count. No way, no way. He took 3 flush punches to the face, not to mention the back of his head bounced on the canvas like a basketball a few times. It was a left hook, straight right hand, and left hook. Finished him. Damn. Fundura's sister on the sideline, she can't believe what she just seen either. Neither can Samson Lekowitz, the promoter of the man Fundura. Fundura is a gracious loser as far as respectful. He's a respectful guy. He's a guy who's Yep. See, he's taking his loss like a man. No excuses. You lost, you lost. He said, yep. He sure knows what happened, man. This was a devastating loss for him. After what he did to Erickson Lubin, man, he looked like he was primed for a title shot and possibly get an upset over the man Jamal Charlo. Well, we're not going to find out about that soon because the man Brian Mendoza is the WBC interim champion. And the hell? Tim Tszyu is the WBO mandatory. And Jamal Charlo will be back whenever he heals his hand, you know what I mean? His broken hand. But this was a risky fight, man. High risk, low reward, you know what I mean? Brian Mendoza beat Jason Rosario. I believe he stopped him in his last fight. I believe it was in October of last year. And he dropped him twice. You know what I mean? And finished him. Retired the man Jason Rosario. Again, Brian Mendoza was even brought in there as an opponent. He wasn't brought there to win the fight. And again today, he ain't get the memo. He ain't get the memo. And this guy is I gotta give it up to Brian Mendoza for taking a beating like that for 6 rounds and to come out with a Hail Mary. This is why we watch boxing, you know what I mean? And I'm glad this was the last fight I'm watching for the night. I doubt I'm gonna tune into the zone, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'm done with watching boxing tonight. I'll catch up with them other fights if they're even worth watching the replay or find a copy of them, you know what I mean? I've seen a whole lot of boxing tonight. Might go through a little quick what you call it, post fight review of Jared Big Baby Anderson. He gets a W, I believe, a fourth round stoppage versus a Dominican guy from the Bronx. Yeah, I mean, fight got stopped. The dude didn't want to continue no more. Um, Keyshawn Davis got a W versus Yigit. Stopped him, I believe, in the 10th round of a 10 round, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there's a whole lot of fights tonight, but when, there's 3 platforms tonight that have boxing. I hate when they do that shit. I only have 2 eyes. How could I really watch a fight in full detail? Oh, can't forget about the fight between the Campos guy versus Brandon Lee, which was, arguably a draw. You know, Campa versus Brandon Lee. Campa Lee got the unanimous decision, but it looked like really a draw. Like, the man really let his foot off the pedal and Campa came back strong with his eyes busted up. Look at that left hook by Mendoza. Straight right hand, left hook to seal the deal. Head bounce on the canvas like a basketball. It's over, man. 6'5" dudes ain't just getting up like that. Yeah, I'm saying. They not. But the man Mendoza didn't know where he was at. I'm sorry, what you call him? Fundora. He got knocked out on his feet. You know what I mean? Boxing Learner, what's good, my guy? What's happening, man? He says Fundora got KO'd. Absolutely. 7th round. Clean TKO. I've said TKO, excuse me. Clean KO. Couldn't make the 10 count. Good night of boxing. I enjoyed myself this evening. I wish I could cover all the fights, but like I said, man, when there's boxing on 3 different platforms at the same damn time, how you go? I only got two sets of eyes. I only have one pair of eyes. I can't watch the zone here. I tried my best watching the Showtime and the top rank ESPN card, and that's where it stops, man. The zone they could fall back tonight. I doubt there's anything. I might be mistaken, but I don't know. There might have been a barn burner fight like that Brandon Lee and Campo fight, and or this fight I just seen right now with Mendoza and Fundura. What's good, my G? Main biker in the chat. What go on, big man? He's in the chat. What's going on, Joe? He says, "What up, B Marsh and Chats? Ain't too much, man. Just seen a very entertaining fight. Fundora, man. Fundora. Hey, man. Hey, but I guess the man Tim Zoo, he himself took a risk fighting the man Tony Harrison. You know what I mean, in Australia, but he came out and he shined. He came out on top of that particular battle. He was also in jeopardy of fucking up that paper as far as not getting a world title shot. But Fundura's not a guy people are just gonna say, yeah, I want to fight that big 6'5" guy with an 80-inch reach. Him not being in position for a world title shot, man, it's gonna be a long road to get back in position. Main Boxing Biker says, chillin'. Mans went timber. That's exactly what it looked like, man. Them fellas took like 5 days to hit the canvas by the time he was out on his feet. He took a minute for him to go down. Cause I was up and about like when he got hurt with the first left hook. I jumped up off the sofa, off the couch. Then he got caught with a straight right hand and another left hook. And he went down, man. Main Boxer Biker says Fundura's legs were stretched straight. He could feel his legs. Mike's Rig says PBC matchmakers got to do a better job. Hey man, I'm not in this to see fellas getting easy fights. Look, if you're in this fight, you want to fight this Brian Mendoza. Look, this would have been another good name on the man Fundura's resume as far as a guy who beat a former unified champion in Jason Rosario. But Fundora, man, he just couldn't make it out the seventh, man. And it's a wrap for him for right now. He'll probably get back in position, but it's gonna be a long road ahead. Main Boxing Biker says, I'm happy Izzy got his revenge finally. Yes, indeed. But yeah, man, I enjoyed this boxing tonight. B March Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the towering inferno going down like 9/11, man. He went down like the Twin Towers, except he was the solo joint. He was by himself and he went down hard, man. Crazy. I was watching this fight, and he reminds me of fellas like Guillermo Jones. He was a guy I used to watch back in the day on Showtime, as a matter of fact. A guy who was a 147-pound 6'4" welterweight. Then he got his title fights at 154 pounds. You know what I mean? Even became a champion at 154 pounds. These were the days when we had some good fighters out of Central America, from Panama, black fighters. I'm talking about, and or fighters coming up out of they had the fellas. What's the guy's name? The cruiserweight, Wayne Braithwaite or some shit like that. He was from Guyana. Guyana had a lot of good fighters too back when. You know what I mean? You know, what's the guy's name? The fellas who fought B-Hop, Howard Easter. The other guy, they had the other guy who was at 147 pounds or 140 from Brooklyn, Guyanese fella. Forgetting these guys' names, man. But damn, man, this was a damn good fight, y'all. Slims in the chat says Sebastian Fun Woodley. That's a funny one. I'm gone off of that, Jay. Hit the thumbs up if y'all new to the channel. Please share, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what y'all thought about this fight. Big ups to everybody. Boxing learner, main boxing biker, my man Mike's Ring, and of course Slim. Yes, indeed, main boxing biker says I'm Guyanese also. Yeah, I remember that, man. What's the guy's, man? The guy, them fellas fucked up, took a high risk, high reward type of fight. He was supposed to be fighting Ricky Hatton for a unification at 140. Damn, I've forgotten this guy's name, man. It's always funny when I click off of this joint and I sign out. Vivian Harris, my man, main boxing biker. There you go. Big up on yourself. Yeah, man. But yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Be March Boxing. I'm gone. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, man.